Well, this is an opportunity of a lifetime. Life-changing as well. It has pushed my career development, I think, 10 times. I've gone leaps and bounds ahead of myself, ahead of my competitors.
So we were so honored to be asked to participate in the Fortune 100 Most Powerful Women State Department Partnership for Global Women's Mentoring. I myself am very privileged to be selected as the mentor for Vwanganji Amatende-Bowa as my mentee. And this is all in keeping with how the New York Stock Exchange is thinking about ways to provide pathways to diversity and inclusion, particularly for women, people of color. And we specialize here in pathways to growth and opportunity. And so we thought that this was a wonderful fit.
Well, the experiences for me have been phenomenal, really. I think I did not think much that this program would give me so much at the end of the day. Literally, I was thinking to myself, okay, so how general counsel, CEO of a microfinance, how's this going to work? I was thinking they'll probably partner me with the CEO from Chase or something like that. But I have really been blown away. I have experienced, I think, a lot and learned a lot from Hope. And this is from understanding how your government works, understanding the partnership that the government involves the private sector into, looking at how the Securities Exchange worked, the New York Stock Exchange, how ICE came in, and the futures trading commodities, and the many ways in which government and all these other departments engage and interlink to be able to get issues from the grassroots and bring them up into policy, regulation, and how that falls back to actually affect different businesses across the country.
What specific skill set or knowledge did you learn from Vwanganji, and how are you going to apply it to your business?
You know, Vwanganji's business is in microfinance and the fintech space. So I've learned so much about how the Zambian government, regulatory structure, how they think about fintech. It's the same set of problems that we have here in the United States as we're trying to address the fintech industry, and you have regulators trying to get a piece of the fintech pie. So very similar set of circumstances that we find ourselves in, sort of counterintuitively. We have a lot to talk about in the regulatory space, which is of course where I live most of my life, in regulatory legal matters. And then also just on the personal side, hearing the way that she's approached solving a problem through creating creating her own pathways for women in Zambia. You know, it's very in keeping with how we think about things at the exchange of creating tools for people to solve problems, not just creating rules or platitudes or happy talk, but actually trying to solve a problem. So I think we've had some really great conversations along those lines, and I've learned a lot.
I have been observing Hope from the first time we made contact. And for me, that was where the learning began. She's very personable, she's very smart, and I've appreciated her role in the New York Stock Exchange and the kind of work that she's doing, and taking up somebody who's coming to learn the ropes, because my view is we have a small business here, microfinance, playing in a small capital market, and we have the New York Stock Exchange here, and I have Hope who's pulling me through the ropes and understanding how that works for companies that have listed publicly. So in all that, I have learned really how to network, how to speak. It might sound maybe a little bit like, why would you learn how to network? But it's the exposure and the opportunity to speak to so many different people, and she has guided me on how to do that. How am I going to approach someone and be able to ask for something that I want from them, create that linkage, create that connection. It's been me understanding how she works with her staff, and also her ability to expose me. Just today we attended an advisory board meeting, and that gave me so much insight into how I would be able to restructure our advisory board, what kind of issues we should be focusing on, and the kind of skill set that need to be, or the expertise that board members should have for us to get the best out for our business.
She's been tossed into the fire, so to speak, and has done an incredible job. And Vwanganji, she's being a little humble, as usual. She has presented now to members of Congress, U.S. senators, senior members of the Securities and Exchange Commission, and our listed companies. For me, it is also the opportunity of a lifetime. I can't wait to see her on the podium when she's taking Mighty Finance public on the New York Stock Exchange.
Me too.
I see myself growing our business. I think she's been very instrumental in helping me conceptualize, this whole huge New York Stock Exchange and what they're doing and how that is applicable to our business. And also just understanding that, opening up the possibility to say this is just a continuum, So we have grown this business from where it was. I was schooled about the building where the NYSE is and how it is today and, the transition it has gone through. And it's something that then relates to me to say, you have the possibility and capability to grow and come and ring the bell one day.
Amazing.